It was her first time on a plane, and she forgot to fasten her seatbelt, but little did she know, that very mistake would end up saving her life. As she lay asleep in her husband's arms, a fighter jet suddenly roared past the cabin, shaking the entire plane. Startled, she woke up and looked out the window. Just in time to witness the aircraft being torn apart in seconds, her husband disappeared right before her eyes. There was no time to grieve. She desperately grabbed onto anything within reach. Against all odds, she managed to crawl back into her seat. Realizing the half-destroyed fuselage was about to crash, she fought through her fear and tightly fastened her seatbelt. From that moment on, her fate was left to luck. The wreckage plummeted toward the forest below. Incredibly, she survived. Surrounded by shattered debris, she gasped for breath, trembling uncontrollably. But then a sharp pain surged through her leg. She bit her lip and pulled herself up, only to find a steel plate had pierced through her calf. There was no one around to help. If she wanted to survive, she had to rely on herself. Gritting her teeth, she grabbed the steel with both hands and painfully pulled it out, inch by inch. After a brief rest, she tore a piece of cloth from her dress and carefully wrapped it around the wound to stop the bleeding. Fighting through the agony, she stood up and began shouting, hoping another survivor might answer. But she only found a woman slumped in a rear seat, unresponsive. As she approached to check, the woman suddenly jolted awake from shock, then passed out from exhaustion. Soon after, a mosquito bite woke her again. Disoriented, she heard a sound overhead. A rescue helicopter was searching for survivors. A spark of hope lit up inside her. She ripped off her scarf and stumbled out of the wreckage, following the sound to a clearing and screaming for help, but the pilot didn't see her. Her cries echoed through the trees as the helicopter grew smaller and finally vanished. Still, she refused to give up. If helicopters were in the sky, there must be search teams on the ground. Determined, she used a tree branch as a crutch and made her way back to the wreckage to wait. But when she reached the site, she froze in terror. A tiger was inside the cabin, feasting on the dead. She didn't dare make a sound, quietly backing away, but a sudden crack beneath her foot gave her away. The tiger turned and began walking toward her. She knew running was useless, so she stood still, holding her breath. Just as the beast prepared to pounce, the roar of another helicopter filled the sky. Spooked, the tiger turned and fled. She'd narrowly escaped death again. This time, she collapsed to the ground, finally allowing herself a moment to breathe. She dared not return to the wreckage. Looking around anxiously, she spotted a toy bear nearby. Something about the tag on it reminded her of the wilderness survival skills her husband once taught her. She removed the tag's safety pin, straightened it, rubbed it against her clothes to magnetize it, and floated it on a leaf in water, creating a makeshift compass. When the needle turned, she finally knew which direction to head. She went to the river to rehydrate, filled a bag with water, then returned to the wreckage. She took the deceased woman's jacket for warmth, broke off the heels of her shoes, and secured her injured leg with strips of cloth. With everything ready, she set off toward home, without looking back. But the road ahead was long and full of danger. Every step was a struggle, and she had to stay alert for wild animals. Would she survive this ordeal?